Okay, hello. Today we are going to continue our little Scratch adventure. And last time we actually made some custom characters, custom picture characters for the Scratch game. And today we're going to actually upload them, which should, which should be okay. Replace them and actually do a little bit of the coding for the actual characters themselves. Okay, cool. Let's jump in there. So here is where we left up on the actual Scratch project. And now we're actually going to upload the custom sprites, well, the custom costume, should I say, for the actual characters. So here I'll hop over to costume for the bear. And with the bear, you got all of these ones. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to click this button down here. Well, we're going to highlight this button, go up to here and go to upload costume. So this will open up your local file. And here I have the local things I want to do. So there they are. So open, closed, closed, open. Fantastic. So now we can get rid of the other ones. Cool. So that excellent stuff. So if we press the green flag now, they are both cats looking away from each other. Cool. So essentially what we're going to do now is essentially allow the characters to select which costume they're actually going to do, and when you actually press the green flag. Okay, so we're going to go over here. It's back to our code, and I'm going to do this slightly differently. Where, how do I actually want to do this? For now, I'm just gonna put them in, and then I'm actually going to change them later. So in order to select the costume, we're just going to have everything as closed at the moment. So when I switch costume to rabbit closed for the first one, and then for the second one, switch costume to cat closed. Now, because the actual sprite is already looking in that direction, we don't actually need the point and direction stuff, I don't think. So we don't need to set rotation style. We don't need that because the actual costume itself is taking care of that. Cool. It's still looking away. They're both looking away. So we do need to set the direction at first, like that, and now they are both there. And also what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the place in which they are so that they are more like at the same height. Okay, so we're going to go minus 150 for that. 150. Pop. No, that's the X, of course. Silly. We do need to adjust the Y. So minus 120. Minus 120. Let's see how that looks. Nope. Minus 100. Let's just go minus 100 for both. Excellent stuff. That's much better. Cool. So I've got the rabbit on the left, cat on the right. Things are looking good. They're slightly different sizes, actually. I'll fix that later. Cool. Now what I want to do, I just want to test to see if I can push a button and switch to two costumes. Okay. So I'm going to make a variable called... Should I do it like that? Yeah, for now I will. So for now, I'm just going to go variable costume change. And just to test how it looks, I'm going to go spacebar. So when my spacebar is clicked, I'm going to... Oh, will this actually work? We'll just go next costume. This won't work in the way I want it to. Okay, we'll just go with it for now. Because they're still spinning. Fascinating. Okay, what's going on there then? Because they're pointing in direction. And all they're doing is showing there. Huh. Interesting. Why are they doing that? These two are facing one direction. These two are facing the other direction. That is interesting. Oh, no. Sorry, no. They're yeah. So, my apologies. They're just swapping. They're not turning around. They're just swapping location because it's the actual costumes. Cool. I understand now. Excellent. But basically, they look okay for what I need it to do. Okay, so I'm just going to go around like that. Okay. So, essentially how we're going to do this next part is actually we need to have a lot more control over which costume is actually active at a time. So we actually do need to do a lot of this actually. So right now it's pointing in the correct direction, so I'm just going to go like that. And effectively what I'm going to do first is I'm going to I want to put everything onto a single, like I want to modulate it a little bit more so I can change more things easier later on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create blocks and I'm going to say set location. Okay, add input, and effectively this is going to be the X and Y at any given stage. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there, and that way when I set the location for each clone, it's going to be in a specific way, like this. Okay? Actually, that's not how I want to do it. Let me have a think about that. There's only going to be 2 clones. No, I just need to do the costumes, don't I? Yeah, I need to... the location is fine for that. So this one needs to set costume. Okay, so I'm going to create a new block. I'm going to do that again, actually. Okay, so I'm not worrying about the set location right now. I'm actually going to set the block instead. So I'm going to... Where is it? Edit. I'm going to set costume here instead of set block. So set costume. Okay, and the only one I need is a single reference for the actual costume itself. Okay, so when I click the flag, I hide, I go to this position, and then I go to this specific costume, and then I create the clone. Although I don't need this one because I've got the set costume now. Set costume to whatever the number or text is, which will be set costume. Got that wrong, and then I'm going to costume number. Okie dokie. And now, yeah. So now I can just set it like that, and now any costume I pick will be there. So set costume to, I believe it's 1. Let's go like this, like that. Open, like that. Cool. So now I just switched around the order. So this one's going to be 1. It's going to change the costume number to rabbit clothes. Then I create a clone of myself. And then I do the exact same thing here, where I do 3 and then create a clone of myself. Cool. Yeah, I think that works. So this one needs to be 170, and then I'm done. Yep, cool. That worked. You didn't see a change. That's a good thing. Cool. So now I've set up the costumes over like that. And now whenever I do a thing, it's going to set the costume to the open and then wait a second and then do it to the close. Okay? Just as like a little test. So I'm going to create a event just to kind of test it. I'm going to call this one the eat one, where I'm going to display, when I click a button called space, it broadcasts eat, and then what eat does is changes the costumes of the 2 clones. But how do I interact with both clones, with each clones? I need a local variable. So basically here I'm going to go for this sprite only, a local variable being eating now. Cool. So set eating now off because they're currently closed. Create clone of myself like that. And then if the space bar is pressed and touching the cake, that's how I'll do it later. But for testing for now, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? If, yeah. So if touching mouse pointer for now, if touching the mouse pointer, then the costume will switch. But then I need a local ID for each. This would have been easier with 2 sprites. No, how I'm going to do it is I'm going to have basically a sprite ID. So set sprite ID. Sprite ID for this one is 1. And then I'm going to set sprite ID for 2. Like that. Cool. Now, if touching the mouse and sprite ID equals 1, set costume to 2, wait a second. I'm going to wait like 2 seconds actually, and then set costume to 1. Cool. And then I'm going to repeat that for 2, set costume to 3, nope, 4, and 3. Cool. Excellent stuff. So essentially what I did there, I'm going to broadcast this whenever I push the space button. Now, if the mouse is touching one of these 2 sprites here, something's going to happen. What that something is going to be either switching costume to 2 or switching costume to 1. Now, to keep this as a rabbit and to keep this as a cat, what I did, I actually made a local variable called sprite ID. Okay? And what sprite ID is effectively assigning the rabbit as ID 1 and the cat as ID 2. So, if the mouse is touching one of the sprites and that sprite has an ID of 1, then it's only going to switch between the 2 rabbit sprites, the open and the close. If whatever the mouse is touching has a sprite ID of 2, as in is a cat, then it will only switch between the costumes 4 and 3, which is the open mouth of the cat and the closed mouth of the cat. Okay, hopefully that's worked. Let's give it a little test. Okay, so I'm going to press that. Now, if I put the mouse over the rabbit, only the rabbit, once I push the spacebar, only the rabbit should open its mouth and then close it. Good. Now, if I do it again on the cat, only the cat should open its mouth, the rabbit should stay the same. Success. We got there. We did it. Cool. That part's done. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up a lot of this code and just make it a little bit more readable, but the logic's there. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I shall see you later and have a very lovely day. Bye-bye.